guys, I'm TJ and welcome back to TJ Smiles. Today I have not really a book review for you guys, but a graphic novel review for you guys. That's right, I read my first graphic novel, and if you watch my videos and you're familiar with my channel, you probably have a pretty decent guess on what graphic novel I read, because I have a whole playlist dedicated to The Walking Dead, so of course this is a Walking Dead graphic novel review. So let me tell you where and why I got this. A while back I decided I wanted to start reading the Walking Dead comic books, or not comic books, graphic novels, because I had never read a graphic novel and I love The Walking Dead so much, and I feel like everyone has so much more insight on The Walking Dead but me because I have yet to read the novels. So I'm at Books A Million one night, and I went to get Volume 1, and they didn't have Volume 1. They had, like, Volume 4 and Volume 5, and, like, they had all these obscured, like, random little numbers, but not Volume 1. The only way I could get Volume 1 was in a big bound set with, like, Volumes 1 through 30, and it was, like, $50-some. Like, I'm like, okay, that's a great deal if I knew I would love it, but I had never read a graphic novel or a comic book before, and I knew if I picked it up and I didn't like the setup, if I didn't like the, like, graphics in it, if I didn't like the language used in it, because I heard The Walking Dead graphic novels do use quite a bit more language than in the television show. If one of these factors played into me not liking it, I wouldn't want to read all 1 through 30, and that would be a huge waste of money for me. So I didn't end up getting it that night at Books A Million. So then, at BookCon, shout out to anyone who was at Chicago BookCon. Let me know in the comments if you were there, because like there's so many people there, and I feel like there has to be someone out there that has seen at least one of my videos and was there. Like, there's gotta be. There was just so many people there for that coincidence not to happen. I mean, I know I'm a tiny little person in the YouTube world, but come on, there were so many people at that event. There has to be some, like, slate. Anyways, I'm rambling. They had a comic book section set up, and I'm like, I wonder if they have The Walking Dead. So I went over there, and they had Walking Dead. I'm like, I wonder if they have Volume 1. And they had Volume 1. So I got it, and I read this the night after BookCon. It took me like an hour. It was super fast. I got into it a lot, and I really did enjoy it. Because I had already seen the television show, and it's been a while since I've seen season 1 at that. So it was kind of like reading it for the first time, but at the same time I was anticipating things to happen. I knew what would happen next. And it was kind of just like a good refresher on like what happened. My dogs are barking. Can you guys hear that? Oh, animals. I'm gonna sell them on eBay. They're so annoying. Anyways, so yeah, I got it, I read it, I loved it, and now I gotta pick up Volume 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and all those at some point. But there was a couple of things I disliked about the comic books. I did not realize that Daryl was a made-up character for the AMC The Walking Dead television show. So I'm reading it, and I get like halfway through it, and I text my best friend, Erin, shout out to Erin, and I'm like, I'm halfway through the comic book, and Daryl has not shown up, and he should have shown up by now. And she's like, Taylor, I'm sorry to inform you, but he's not in the comic books. And I was like, what? Like, I miss Daryl so much. Like, it's The Walking Dead's on an off season. I was going to get my Daryl fix through this. He wasn't there. And then I made the connection that Daryl is up against Negan right now on the cliffhanger, if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and he's not in the comic book. He's like free range, AMC created him. They can do whatever the heck they want with him. So maybe Daryl's gonna die. And I do have a theory on why I do think Daryl will die and Daryl will meet Negan, because, yeah, maybe I'll do a whole video on that. I'm not wasting my video time explaining that. I will do a whole video on why I think Daryl will end up dying on the season premiere. Okay, moving on. Another thing that I wasn't crazy about, but at the same time is not going to hinder me from continuing to read, was the language used in this book. If any of you guys know me, I don't swear on my channel. You know me in real life. I don't swear in real life. It's just not something I'm into. I feel like I have such a big vocabulary. Why am I using such, like, uneducated language? If you swear, nothing against you. That's just my own personal opinion. And there was quite a few swear words throughout this. Not as many as I had anticipated because so many people talk about the swearing in this book. So it wasn't as much as I had anticipated, so I was chill with it. I'm okay with it. I'll continue reading. But yeah. And another thing is, it took me a while to get used to the formatting because, like I said, I had never read a graphic novel or comic book before, so it took me a bit to like get used to like following along and like remembering to actually take the time and look at the graphics. Because I was just reading it. I was so into reading it, I was like barely taking time to look at the graphics. So yeah. And then, okay, this is another thing I love. The very beginning of the book, the introduction. I loved the introduction. I read the introduction and I dropped the novel and I had to take a second and I looked over at my grandparents who were on the couch. I'm like, holy crap, allow me to read this introduction out to you. This is great. It explains The Walking Dead so much clearly. There's so many people that refuse to read or watch The Walking Dead because they think it's all death and gore and zombies and science fiction. And it's like, no, he states right in his introduction, it's not about that. It's about character development. And if you watch The Walking Dead or you've read the comic books, the character development in these characters is amazing. It's like people with flaws. It's real people. It's not these television 16-year-old girls who have the perfect life and the perfect body. No, it's real people with real flaws, and they have to really develop in life just as you grow and learn in real life. And that's probably why I love The Walking Dead so much. Television show and the graphic novel. I really enjoyed this. And I was kind of reluctant all this time because I never thought I'd enjoy a graphic novel. But guess what? I did. So yeah, another thing is Glenn is still having death scares even in volume 1. Oh my gosh. So I am actually working on right now a video where I'm going to watch The Walking Dead from episode 1, season 1, all the way up and count how many times Glenn has had a death scare. Because it's ridiculous. They're just messing with us at this point, AMC. Come on now. Just like, don't kill him. Just let him live. Quit scaring us like that. And then, like, he's having death scares already in volume 1, so I'm going to go through the comic books and also tag how many times Glenn almost dies but survives. So, yeah, I have that video I'm working on. That's going to take me a while, though, because that's, like, a lot of preparing beforehand, and I have to have time to, like, watch all the episodes and all that. But, yes, that is my opinions. I didn't really talk about my opinions. I just kind of fangirled the whole time about The Walking Dead. That's alright. If you watched this, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!